Hey, I'm Lil Majik. I'm a natural born Imagineer and I make art for people that swag out loud. Now, this isn't your average Meet the Artist where I just list facts about myself, so as an alternative, I'm just gonna share a part of my story that maybe someone out there has or can relate to. I want to preface by saying that when I was coming up with today's video, I found myself getting really frustrated. I knew that I wanted to share something meaningful, but I didn't really know what. I didn't know what to share because the truth is I'm afraid of the embarrassment that might come with it. I feel like you never really know what you're gonna get out of people in terms of reaction. I think that sharing is usually a good thing, but I've just been burned by it before. And it's not that I'm bad at sharing, like I said, it's just the reaction part that I'm afraid of. It doesn't usually end well for me. Usually. But maybe this time will be different. So I find myself walking through life with my magic wand drawn and ready to fire at any given moment. It's exhausting and incredibly frustrating. Somehow I've allowed it to mirror twofold and it's become near inescapable. It shows up everywhere, and I mean that to its fullest extent. In the past, I would have looked at it as the end, but as a seasoned magician, I've learned to look both ways. Rather than it being the definite end, I see it unfold as a new opportunity, an opportunity to finally let it go. What I'm talking about today is kind of an embarrassing topic to talk about, yet so many people have experienced childhood bullying at one point or another growing up. And according to Pacer.org, the National Bullying Prevention Center, about 1 in 5 kids are bullied, and that stat only goes up depending on if you're a part of a marginalized group or a part of multiple marginalized groups. And today I also want to talk about the long-term effects of that as well. Personally, for me, I took things at face value. When people said something, I thought they literally meant it. So like when people say just be yourself, I was like, okay, cool, like just be. No. Like imagine thinking that when people say to be yourself, you do exactly that, because it's not necessarily clear that people didn't really mean that. Or that even if you tried to be like others, there was just something about you that stood out that caused you to be singled out by others on more than one occasion, pretty frequently or even daily. And back then I really just tried to brush it off and forget about it, because what could I have really done about it? But little did I know that it would have major implications on my life later down the road. And I feel like talking about bullying is such a tricky topic because there's no cut and dry answer. Obviously you can just say stop bullying. But people are people. And the truth is that I've already gone through the worst of it. I've already been tormented. I've already had my bones picked clean. I freed myself from the spells that once bound me, but that doesn't mean that it didn't hurt. And I wasn't aware that the crooked spells that once held me captive would have lasting effects. I did not know the way that people treated me back then would play a factor on how I live my life now. No matter how hard you try to forget about it, the mind does keep tally. But hindsight is 20/20, you know? And keeping it all the way 100, it did do a number on my mental. Sometimes I find myself getting really anxious around people that I often go out of my way to avoid interaction because it is what feels safest to me. It sucks to say that I'm afraid of people and what might come out of their mouth. And it's because I've just gotten used to like the worst things coming out of people's mouth. And I'd rather just avoid people if possible, you know? And it's not without good reason. Like I said, I've just gotten used to the worst things coming out of people's mouth. And you hear things so often that no matter how much you tell yourself to like just block it out, ignore it, forget about it, you do low-key, high-key internalize that. And like those are the starts of things that you start saying about yourself, whether you're aware of it or not. Like it's happening regardless. And it can really make you second guess yourself and doubt yourself. And it can make you feel like small, very, very, very small and inferior to others. And even at one of my lowest points, I was diagnosed with the big D, okay? And I feel a lot of embarrassment and even shame around that, because it's like, how could I have let something like that creep up on me? You know, you feel like it's one of those things where in a situation where it's not you, you'd be like, okay, well, I just would have done this, and this, but it's not you though. And a lot of the times when you're in it, you don't know that you're in it until you're out of it. And the long-term effects are so invasive that it impacts the way you feel and think about yourself. Things like your self-esteem, the way you breathe, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself. It hooks onto every facet of your life, and it can be quite a monster to tackle alone. There are so many moving parts at play when it comes to childhood bullying that finding a solution can prove to be a difficult task. For me, art provided the perfect place for me to escape when things was rough. Even though in real life I felt really small and questioned my worth a lot of the times, my art allowed me to be something else. When I say something else, I mean literally anything else that I was subjected to when growing up. My art is full of sunshine, rainbows, mounds of lush green grassy fields, and plenty of friends. I can be popular. I can try on all of the hot new fashions. Speaking of fashions, in my last vlog, I never gave a conclusion to what I was doing with the frog shirts. I had a couple orders come in and I thought I'd show you the printing process. Bro, the colors look so good and they're extremely vibrant. I remember going to the gas station to get gas and the guy couldn't stop smiling when he seen me walk in, and he was like, "Nice shirt." And I said, "Thank you." If you want to radiate positive energy and have everyone around you smiling from ear to ear, you can pre-order your shirt on my website right now. They start at $27 and each week they'll go up until it reaches their final retail price of $35. So go get yours. The pre-order ends February 5th. I can go on the most exhilarating adventures. I can talk to the moon. I can dance with the sun. I can be as big as I want to be. I can take up as much space as I feel that I need to. And I always find that I'm always in need of just one more page. My art has taken me places I've never imagined, and it's allowed me to meet so many people who are like myself. My art in its own way shows me time and time again that, I am worth it. And I consider it to be a mirror of sorts. I really enjoy looking at what I fill my pages with, and I enjoy looking at what's being reflected back at me. Where I was constantly made to feel small and unimportant, my mirror is not only telling me but showing me that I am big and that I am important, that I am worth it. And because of the role that art has played in my life, I'm actually a really big advocate for having a sketchbook. Sketchbooks are just books with blank pages that you can literally draw or write anything on, and I'm always telling people that they should always keep a sketchbook, even if it's for different reasons. I think the benefits of having a sketchbook helps with practicing things like mindfulness and can act as a mirror in the same way it does for me, for you. Just a little pause for a second. If you're liking today's video, make sure you hit that like button and let's keep going. I've gotten to a place in my sketchbooking and art journey that I know that if there's any problem in my waking life, or if I need like a affirmation to make myself feel just better, I know that I can turn to my sketchbook to make me feel better, and it works every single time. And I just love it. I just love what my art reflects back to me. I feel like it confirms that little seed in my brain that tells me, what if what if they were saying was wrong? It's just wrong. It's not even the truth. I get to create myself within the pages of my own sketchbook. And what I've created myself to be is something that I've always dreamed to be. I'm cool. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm just that dude. I don't know how to tell you. I started writing raps in my sketchbook. I started writing poetry, drawing, comics. When I look back at my sketchbook, I'm just that dude. And now that I'm older, I see why they hated on me now. Before we go, here are the images that I created for the Meet the Artist. If you're enjoying my art, please consider checking out my webcomic called Swag Time. Swag Time is a comedy fantasy series about a group of offbeat friends that find the joy and humor in the everyday as they go through the ups and downs of life. I don't want to spoil it too much, but if you'd like more information about it, it's on my website, lilmajik.com, and it'll be linked in the description. Going back to sketchbooks, if you would like to see what a real sketchbook looks like and how you can get more out of one via self-expression, hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss out on my next upload. Again, I'm Lil Majik, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Peace.